Are you disappointed with the stock stereo on your 2026 Sea-Doo 325? Or maybe you've already bought an amp and speakers, but have no idea how to install it the right way. Because here's the truth, most of the installs you're seeing online are being done wrong. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a complete step-by-step install of the JetWerx JL audio stereo kit on the brand new 2026 Sea-Doo 325. And I'm not cutting any corners. One thing I noticed in almost every video out there, they all stop when it comes to removing the storage bin. Either they skip it completely, or they try to work around it because it's not easy. I'm going to show you a simpler way to get it out, but more importantly, I'm going to show you why removing it is the only way to do this install right. Yes, it takes more time. Yes, it's a little more work. But if you want clean wiring, proper power, and a safe amp location, it's 100% worth it. Every other video I watch skips the most important part. They're mounting the amp inside the speaker box, which is not what it's designed for, and turning weak wiring that limits performance and can cause problems long term. I'm going to show you the right way to do it, including how to remove the storage compartment, how to run the proper power wiring, and how to mount your amplifier in a safe, protected location inside of the Sea-Doo. And here's the thing, this was my first time ever taking apart a Sea-Doo. So everything you're about to see, I had to figure it out the hard way. Which means I'm going to save you hours of frustration, costly mistakes, and potentially damaging your machine. I'm not skipping a single step. So if you want this install the right way the first time, stick with me. Alright, before we jump into the install, I want to quickly show you everything that comes inside the JetWerx kit. As you can see here, this is a complete plug-and-play setup. You've got the JL Audio M3 speakers right here, the MX280x4 amplifier, and all of the wiring, adapters, and connectors already included and labeled, which makes this install way easier than trying to piece everything together yourself. And honestly, that's one of the biggest things I like about this kit. Everything is organized, clean, and ready to go. Now, after getting this installed, I can tell you I'm extremely impressed. The sound quality is better than I expected, it's loud, it's clear, and it hits hard without any distortion. They do offer a more powerful package with a bigger amp and upgraded speakers, but for me, I didn't want to risk pulling too much power from the battery. And after hearing how this setup performs, there's really no need to go any louder. This setup is more than enough for writing and enjoying your music out on the water. I wish there was a way for you to hear exactly what this sounds like in person, but the speakers on your phone or computer just don't do it justice. Huge shout out to JetWerx for putting together such a well-designed kit and making this install as straightforward as possible. And if you're thinking about picking one up, make sure you use my discount code right below. It'll save you 10% on your stereo upgrade kit. Now, one thing I do want to mention, with the way the 2026 Sea-Doo 325 is designed, removing the storage bin is not the easiest part of the process, but it's definitely doable. I'm going to walk you through that step by step so you don't run into any issues. As far as tools go, you don't need anything complicated. All you need is a set of Torx sockets, a standard ratchet set, a flathead screwdriver, and a Phillips head screwdriver. I also added a few extra things during my install to help improve the sound inside the speaker boxes. I'll show you exactly what I used later in the video. Alright, let's get into it. Step 1, removing the factory speakers.
First thing you're going to do is locate this small hole right here on the speaker cover. This is the key to getting it off without damaging anything. You don't need anything fancy for this. I'm literally just using a small nail myself. Go ahead and press it into that hole, and while you're pressing in, gently twist the cover. That's it, no force. If you feel like you're forcing it, stop. It should unlock and come right off clean. Once the cover's off, you'll see 6 Torx screws holding the speaker in. I'm using a T20 socket for this one. Go ahead and remove them one at a time. Quick heads up, throughout this install, you'll run into a few different Torx sizes, like T25 and T30 as well. I'm not going to call out every single one as we go, but just have a small set handy and you'll be good. I'll put a link in the description below for the one I used. Now the speaker will pull straight out. Just ease it forward, and on the back you'll see the factory plug. Disconnect that, and the speaker is free. Inside here, you'll notice a small amplifier mounted with 2 screws. go ahead and remove those. And then unplug the connector from the back. This wiring harness right here is important. This is where the main adapter from JetWerx is going to plug in later. The other adapters in the kit will connect directly to your speakers, and everything else is going to run back to your main amplifier. In just a bit, I'm going to show you exactly how to run all your wires, your RCAs, speaker wires, and your remote wire through the factory garment right here and into and inside of the C-Do where your amp will live. It's actually a lot easier than it sounds. Now, the right side speaker comes out the exact same way. Same process, nothing different. Only thing to note, there's no amplifier on that side, just the speaker. Before we move on, this is a great time to improve your sound quality. I'm adding some Killmat inside the speaker box, but you don't need to go crazy with it. I also have that linked in the description below. You don't want full coverage. I just cut small pieces, about the size of a credit card, and place about 4 pieces inside of each box. That's going to help tighten up the sound without overdoing it. It's actually going to improve the sound by about 15%. Next, we're removing these side trim pieces near the speakers. There's one screw at the bottom and a tab at the top. Once those are loose, just slide the trim back and it comes right out. Now, coming up next is the hardest part of this entire install, removing the storage bin. I'm going to walk you through it step by step so you don't get stuck. And I know this might seem like a lot right now, but trust me, if you follow along, take your time, you can absolutely do this yourself. And once you hear how this thing sounds when it's done, it's 100% worth it. Let's keep going. All right, this is the part right here that stops most people. And I'm going to be honest with you, when I got to this step, I couldn't find a single video online that showed how to actually do this on this model. I even tried using AI and searching everywhere, and there just wasn't anything out there yet. So what I'm about to show you, I had to figure out myself. And this is the most important part of the entire install. To fully remove the storage bin, I found that you do have to disconnect the hydraulic lift that's attached to the lid. Now, everything online says you shouldn't have to remove it, but on this model, it's actually mounted inside the storage bin, so I couldn't find any way around it. If you know a different way or figure out a shortcut, drop it in the comments. I'd love to see it. From here, you're going to start removing all the screws around the top of the storage container, and there's a lot of them. You've got the 4 around the gas cap, a few hidden ones up front, and everything around the perimeter needs to come out. You'll also need to remove this front plastic piece right here. There are 2 screws on the inside back corners. Take those out and then just slide it. It'll pop right out. Next, you'll want to slightly loosen the bolts that hold the top lid in place. This gives you enough movement to get the hydraulic lift disconnected. And this part matters. The lid needs to be mostly closed when you remove that lift. If it's fully open, it's not going to come out. Putting it back in later is actually really easy. Takes less than a minute. Now, at this point, everything should be loose enough where the storage bin will start to move, but it's not coming out yet. This is where most people get stuck. There are 2 clips at the very front corners, one on each side. You'll need to reach in, feel where they are, and press them in while pulling the bin back. It's a little tricky at first, but once you feel where those clips are, you'll understand exactly what needs to be pressed. I'll be honest, this is the only part of the install where I needed help. I had a second person assist me here, and I really don't think this part is doable by yourself. Once it starts coming out, don't just yank it all the way out yet. There are 2 screws underneath the bin that still need to be removed. These hold the vents to the bottom of the storage bin. Take those out first. Now you can fully remove the storage bin and set it to the side. And just like that, the hardest part of this entire install is done. If you made it through this part, you're in great shape. Everything from here on out gets a lot easier. Stick with me. We're about to bring this whole system together. All right, now that the hard part is out of the way, this is where things start getting fun. Now we're gonna run all of the wiring from the JetWerx adapter up through the speaker box and into the inside of the C-Do. What I did here is use the existing factory wire as a guide. I taped my wires to it, pushed it through as far as I could, then slowly pulled it back through the other direction. Once I got those through, I untaped them, then repeated the process with the RCA cables. feeding them one at a time so everything goes through clean. I did use the factory grommet. I just opened it up slightly in the center so everything could pass through while still sealing tight. Once everything's through, just make sure you've got enough length on all your wires to completely reach your amplifier. From here, go ahead and reconnect your left speaker. I added the Killmat just like before, then mounted the new speakers using the screws that came with them. The factory screws are too short. They won't work with these speakers. Now, you've got two options for running your wires to the amplifier. You can follow the factory wiring path and route everything down through the vents. Or what I recommend is drilling a small hole right next to the speaker box and running everything straight through. This makes the install way cleaner and you don't have to extend any wires. I drilled mine just large enough for the RCA connectors to fit through. And this spot is hidden behind a plastic panel so you'll never see it. Once everything was ran, I sealed it up with marine grade silicone to keep it watertight. Now let's get everything connected to the amplifier. Take your speaker wires from the adapter, channel 1 and channel 2, and connect those to your front left and front right outputs to the amp. Then plug your RCA cables into the front inputs on the amplifier. I'm following the wiring diagram that came with the amp, using the bridged mono setup. It's the third option down. I also tested the stereo mode and honestly didn't notice much difference. Both will work great. In this setup, the amp is bridged, so you're getting maximum power. This is a 280 watt amp, so each speaker is getting about 140 watts, which is perfect for those speakers. They're also 4 ohm speakers, so everything is matched correctly. No need to worry about damaging anything. Now, before you heat shrink anything, don't lock it in just yet. We're gonna test everything first. Over at the battery, go ahead and run your power wires. This part is super simple. It feeds right through to the amp. But make sure you remove the fuse and set it aside before connecting anything. Once everything is connected, you can cut your wires to length and go ahead and heat shrink those connectors. Next, remove the back panel of the amplifier. There are 4 screws, so you can access your gain and settings. Mine came set really low from the factory, so now we're gonna power everything up and dial it in. Put your fuse back in, turn on your CDU, connect your Bluetooth, and start playing some music.
Just some royalty-free music here. I set mine to 2-channel bridged mode and turn the gain up most of the way, but not all the way up. If you go too high, you'll start getting distortion. So I set mine just below that point. That way I can still turn the volume all the way up without issues. And take your time here. Get this exactly how you want it, because once the amp is mounted, it's not easy to get back to these settings. I actually used a battery charger so I could sit here and really dial mine in before mounting everything. Now, for mounting the amplifier, I sanded down the fiberglass to give it a better surface, cleaned it with rubbing alcohol, then I attached a thin mounting board using marine grade adhesive. I mounted the amplifier to the board using short screws and washers, making sure nothing came through the backside. And this part is critical. Make sure you position it to the storage bin where it clears when it goes back in. I actually test fit mine first. Use tape to hold everything in place, put the storage bin back in to check the clearance. Then finalized it with adhesive and some Gorilla Tape while it dried. From there, just clean everything up. Heat shrink your connections, organize your wiring, and I wrapped my RCA connections with electrical tape just to keep everything sealed tight. Now at this point, you're basically done. It's time to put everything back together.
I'll show you how the storage bin goes back in. Just keep in mind, the screws go back in a specific order, and it's really easy to miss one. I used labeled bags to keep everything organized. That saved me a ton of time. And here it is, all put back together. And this thing sounds absolutely incredible.
I was born to be free.
If this video helped you out and you're thinking about doing this upgrade yourself, make sure you check the link in the description. I've got a discount code down there that'll save you 10% on your JetWerx kit. Don't forget to use that. I've also got more videos on this Sea-Doo, including the SCOM upgrade and a full overview of the 2026 325 RXTX. So if you want to get the most out of your machine, definitely check those out. Appreciate you taking the time to watch this. I hope it saved you a lot of trial and error. If you got any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll help you out. And I'll see you in the next one.